Hello and welcome to another Drive-In Double Feature. I'm Ryan,
I'm Nathan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before anything at all, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/ Drive-In Double Feature podcast. Nathan, I was at my local ninja dojo the other day, and I was like just taking a quick ninja class, just learning ninja things, like I normally do, like I do every Thursday. And it's it was a lot of fun. I got to see some fun flips and everything like that. And there was one ninja guy that was basically just like, "Oh, hey, like, that flip you did, Ryan, was really cool. So I but what's even cooler is this deal over at patreon.com/ driving double feature podcast. It's got some fun games, fun conversations, just an all around good time over there, just like for a ninja like myself would enjoy. And it's only $5 a month, which doesn't affect any regular content. I said, "Oh yeah, like sounds great." And they said, "I hope Nathan and Ryan realize how much we appreciate them." And I said, "Domo arigato."
Oh, wow, you hit him with the domo arigato. I didn't know you were that well trained.
Yeah. And I said,
Hmm.
I think they know.
Hmm.
Or,
We know. Domo.
eh, yes, exactly. But anyway, today we are talking about 1985's Justice Ninja Style, which is directed by Parvin Tremel.
Parvin.
Uh, Parvin, yes, Parvin. Not
Hmm.
Marvin, Parvin.
Parvin.
Starvin Parvin, they
Yes.
call
Oh, yes,
him.
Starvin Parvin. Could you imagine like coming into the movie Hollywood universe, right? And like you make this and then you just stop. Like you make this movie and then you're like, it's over. I'm gonna end my career. And I get it. You can't get any better than this Parvin. One and done.
I hate, a lot of these people in this cast, believe it or not, are one and dones. Believe it or not, no,
What?
but not a lot of people in this movie went on to
No,
do but more things.
no talent scouts were out here like watching from the sidelines, like this is it. We're gonna get some people. There is one guy that is in multiple things, though. The guy who
Yeah.
plays the ninja.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like in like two other like ninja movies, but they're like I can't I couldn't get much information on them.
Hey, which the main dude or the ninja?
The ninja.
'Cause I just looked and I didn't see anything else that he did. I looked at his IMDb.
I was looking at Letterboxd.
Oh,
Um,
maybe that's why. Maybe it's so obscure. Not even IMDb's ever heard of it.
yeah, Ron White is in How to Become a Ninja. And then he's
That's
also, oh, is that not, that's the main guy?
no, that's a I think that's a documentary, isn't it?
It says it's from 1987. Karate expert
Okay.
Ron White explains how, I mean, it sounds like an instructional video.
Maybe that's why it's not on IMDb.
And then there is a documentary about him as well from
What
2023.
which is on the so the this movie had a Blu-ray release.
Hell yeah.
Um and there is a feature-length documentary on this one on that DVD and a documentary about Ron D. White, which everyone calls him Tater Salad. He was out
That's
there
the
with
first
Jeff
thing I
Fox.
thought.
He's out there with Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy. They're all palling around.
I never understood. This is a tangent, but I never understood. Like Ron White would come out and he'd go, "They call me Tater Salad," and everyone would burst out laughing just from like that. How is that funny? How is yeah.
Ron White, like uh, again, he does a lot of the same jokes. So I think there's a reason why he says that, but like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
pretty much he pretty much just says like the same five jokes and everyone's yeah,
Just repeat
and
it
just
again. Say it
yeah.
again. Um,
So, but yeah. Anyway, this movie is kind of like a local legend type of thing. This movie was filmed out in Missouri,
mhm.
and it kind of had like the only physical release feature release was actually in Missouri. Like it was only in like that one little town out there where it was filmed, and it didn't have a release whatsoever. And they did try to like re-release this movie like in 1989 under a different title, but again, that kind of flopped. And this movie kind of was like hidden for the longest time until about 10 or 15 years ago. It
Mm.
was kind of discovered like in one of those, like kind of like Miami Connection, where it was just like nobody had ever like given this movie much thought, and then people were just like watching, like, oh my God, this is crazy type of thing. And
Hmm.
uh, I'll just say this movie is a super low budget movie. I mean, you could tell
Oh,
right away. I mean, it looks like I said, like we were talking about before, like it looks like an instructional video, like that type of quality. Like it's
yeah.
really a really poor quality
Yeah. Shot
movie.
shot on like classic, like a giant VHS camera or something. Budget's maybe $5, a bit more than that, but like there's no budget, no, it's not any like big actors or anything. It is maybe one of the lowest budget movies we've covered on here. We've covered probably some in the same range, but it's definitely on the lower end.
Definitely, it's a very very low budget movie. But I'll say this, there's definitely a charm to it. Like, and you watch this sort of thing, it kind of just feels like a little underdog, like it's trying really hard to.
Yeah.
So just cutting a bit of the fat there. This movie it's really bad, but it's kind of the point. It's like this movie is they try so hard to make like a legitimate action movie,
Hmm.
and the acting in this movie is like so bad, and
Yeah.
they and like they do stuff like for like they repeat lines, or like like a guy, there's like one guy in here who's like who owns like a dojo, and he just like he'll like flub a line like multiple times, and then like oh, like let me give it again type of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments like that. Like they only had like so much tape space, and they just like were like, okay, we gotta do it. Like we just do it again if you mess it up. And that's part of its charm. Like you said, this movie has an underdog charm to it. Honestly, I've seen some so bad it's good movies on here. And this one, like, I don't know, I don't even know why. I don't even think it's that bad. I mean, it's bad. It's a bad movie, don't get me wrong, but it was a little more enjoyable than I was expecting. It's a fun movie.
It's very entertaining. Like if this was like a well-made movie, you'd think like I was like, oh yeah, that'd be a pretty good plot or whatever, type
Uh-huh.
of thing. And I was pretty entertained for it. I mean, like for the wrong reasons, but I
Yeah.
was, but at the same time, I was just kind of like it was really funny just to see like all the stuff that they would do in this movie.
Yeah, this movie goes some like really funny places because it's already funny because the movie does take place in DeSoto, Missouri. And just the fact that there's a ninja hanging out in DeSoto, Missouri. I mean, you actually get an explanation for that, which I think is really funny. Like they don't leave it up to like, oh, weird, there's a ninja here. There's actually a reason. But it's funny like seeing like a ninja hiding in the forest of DeSoto.
Yeah. And the movie starts out pretty fast because it has two friends, Carol and Shelley,
Mhm.
that are just traveling. They were out like shopping or whatever.
And
And
they're kind of mean. And
yeah,
yeah, this movie does something really weird in this scene where inner monologue is in this movie. We actually hear one of the characters think, and they don't do that again, right? Like that's the one time they do that.
is that what they're doing? I thought they were just ADRing everything.
No, because there's that scene whenever because their car breaks down and one
Oh,
has
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, one has to leave and the other one stays behind, leans on the car, is like, oh, what a drag. She's I hate being around her. And she's
That's
thinking
right.
that. And I was like, and they never do like an inner monologue thought thing again. Just an odd thing.
They do a lot of ADRing in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Like it's like they've never have used like an outdoor micro. Like anytime they're like outdoors or something like that, it's just like they don't know what to do because it's just
Oh yeah.
immediately goes to ADR.
It probably because I would imagine that they did record it, but like they didn't know how to get rid of the background noise because it's very forested. I imagine like there's sounds of bugs all over that
Hmm.
audio.
Yeah, definitely. So it was a lot of those types of scenes where they would just be like two characters would be walking and it'd be funny like they wouldn't let you see like their mouth moving. It would always be like from like a distance where you couldn't see them or something like that. So they
Hmm.
didn't have to worry about matching the lip movements or whatever.
Yeah, but it's
It's
still
like
like noticeable.
right. Uh, but anyway, like it's these two friends, they go out shopping and then their car breaks down. And then one girl's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go into town and try to get some help. And she starts walking away. So Shelly is left to herself, like, okay, I'll just wait here with the car. And then two cops show up. Uh, George and Grady
Yep.
are there. And George gets a little handsy with Shelly, because she's like, oh yeah, you look really good, baby, type of thing. And
Hmm.
starts like putting his hands all over her, and she's like, get away from me, you creep. And he hits her like full on in the face with his nightstick
Yeah, and kills
and
her like
kills her
instantly.
like one hit, like just like bam, like out cold,
Not the only
dead.
time that happens in this movie either.
Um, I thought like when I and do you think too like it was funny like his nightstick, like you think like a baton or like a nightstick, it's that long black piece with like a handle or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, the thing that he was using, it looked like I thought it looked like a table leg or like like a chair leg or something like that.
Yeah.
It did not look normal at all.
No, I didn't know what it was like either. Like I remember looking because it's like light brown, right? It's like a light
Hmm.
brown nightstick. No, I was
With,
looking at it and I was
with
like, this is
varnish on it and everything.
yeah, it was very odd looking. I mean, I think it's just a prop is all it was. It's probably all they had. Um, and yeah, they kill this girl, and then a karate student, Brad, or
Brad.
yeah, walks up. Well, he's not. He's an instructor. But
Yeah, he's an instructor.
he just happens to be walking by this active murder scene, and it's so funny because Deputy George, in all of his intelligence, is like, hold on a moment, goes up to him and
Yeah.
he's like, hey, I'm not really good with my nightstick. Could you show me some moves with the nightstick? And I love it the way because Brad's kind of just like, I don't know, I don't know if I can do that. And he's like, the women really like it. Women really like you. And he's like, all right, if you put it that way, I'll do it. So he puts his hands all over the nightstick, and then he gets arrested.
I like it because then George is like he like the way he takes it back, he's just like, all right, great. Like, he's putting like two fingertips at the very end where he didn't touch it.
Uh-huh.
He's like, yeah, that's perfect. And he just kind of puts it away. And,
Exactly.
and then they immediately like beat him up and arrest him and just like, you're
Yeah.
going in downtown
And I love
type of
that
thing.
because all he does is like kind of like I don't even think he really rips her clothes. He kind of just grabs at her, but immediately he's like, "You're going under arrest for murder and attempted rape," which keeps getting brought up this whole movie that it's an attempted rape because like that even
Yeah.
comes up in like conversation where he's like, I'm being charged with rape and all this. It's kind of crazy.
They really like to use that word.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they like to use it.
Yeah, but it's it's just funny, like, they go through like this whole plot line and like it's this one cop, like, because Grady, he at first he's kind of like, I don't know, George. Like, this seems really wrong to do this sort of thing. And George is like, well, if you don't report this right away, you're kind of an accessory to this, so it's going to be your fault too, type of thing. And
Yeah.
so he kind of like goes along with it, like, all right, fine. And we start getting like our noticeable scenes of like a ninja where it's just like a guy in a ninja costume just kind of like running around town
Yeah.
and like observing what's happening to Brad.
Yeah, it's really funny, yeah, because the ninja doesn't really have much going on, but like he was there the whole time, so it's like, oh, the ninja's here to protect Brad, the ninja of DeSoto, Missouri.
Yeah, and it now mind you, like this is like a really small town type
Yeah.
of thing, and he sticks out like such a sore thumb. Like
Yeah, because he's
in
wearing
this
all
ninja,
black.
he's wearing all black, his face is hidden, and he just like he's just like standing around like next to like a government building, like like flipping around that sort of thing. And
But he's supposed to be naked. He's supposed to be invisible to the naked eye.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, because people don't see him. They like feel him and they're like, was someone there?
Hmm. And anyway, Brad does eventually go to jail, and they're basically the cops are like, "Well, you're going to go away for a long time, buddy," type of thing. And eventually, Brad does get a little bit of help from the ninja, where he's able to like bust out.
Mm-hmm.
He does like full on kick a cop, like kicks Grady like in the back of the head.
Yeah. I mean, that whole like the fighting in this movie is so much fun to watch, to be honest with you. That's probably one of the better bits of this movie.
Yeah, there's one later scene where like the ninja like grabs a guy and throws him over a bridge, and he's just like ah, but it's like this really small bridge type of thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Um No, and it, he gets out, and then it ends up being like a movie where he's on the run from the police for most of the movie. But and he hides out, and then he like kind of has to convince people. But this is when we get introduced to the actual like dojo master of it's a Cobra Karate, right? That
Yeah,
yeah, ripped right from Karate Kid. Which was that out yet?
yeah, that was 1984. So
Okay, so this is
this
definitely
is one
like
year after that.
I saw Karate Kid and I got to make my karate movie.
Cobra. I love
Oh,
Cobras.
perfect. Yeah, so we get introduced to the dojo master who's like this older guy with this like really white mustache. And I love that he's like a dojo master, really into being fit, kung fu, and he smokes cigarettes. And like that's like a huge point in this movie is him smoking like these really long cigarillos, I think is what they are.
Yeah. So he's really funny because they open up with the scene with him like to show like what a dojo master he is, and he's just like he just points at one of his students. It's like, all right, let's spar, you and me. And like the way they film this scene is like so weird because just them like going like like just like they throw like kicks and punches like at the camera,
Uh-huh,
like breaking
yeah.
the fourth wall, like it's a POV shot. And then like when they do it, they're just like they just like they're constantly missing each other, like or just tapping them, and just like this is some
Yeah.
like epic fight that's going on in front of us.
You know what? They're trying something. I can appreciate it. They're doing because like it's funny how much this movie goes for weird shots like that because sometimes it can be really static. And I imagine whatever old camera they're shooting on probably going to do a lot of, but they actually surprisingly like do some like interesting framing. Like there's one scene a lot earlier than this where the camera's set behind the jail cell door and the way it
Hmm.
opens and the way he's like standing there, I was like, you know what? For like a no budget movie, they're trying something. Um,
Yeah.
One thing I love about that dojo master scene is how he conducts the students, and then he's like he wraps up early. He's like, "Oh, all right, you all hit the showers. I got
Yeah.
some business to take care of. I don't want to go home late."
Right. Well, because he meets with Carol, the other girl that was
Hmm.
um part of the friend, like Shelly's friend, the one that died, and she was basically just like, I can't believe it, like this guy Brad, he killed Shelly,
Hmm.
and the dojo master's like, hey, like I know Brad. Brad's a good guy. He would never do anything like that type of thing, and
Yeah.
but she's not convinced,
No,
and
it takes her a little bit to get convinced of this.
yeah, and it's funny though. He had said that earlier, like, but then at the end of their conversation, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna hit the shit."
Which is so funny because I did kung fu for a little bit. I never took a shower at the kung fu place.
You've never taken a shower.
Yeah, I would never. I love that sweat and hard work. That is hard work, and I kept that on my body. Okay.
You still haven't taken a shower.
No, no, not since I was like what was I like 11 when I did
Yeah,
karate. Oh man, yeah. No, it's been a while. It's been a while. You can smell me through
but
the
yeah,
Zoom call.
uh, Why do you think I haven't seen you in so long?
Yeah.
You.
Oh, gotcha. So if I just shower, I'll be like that one guy. There's like that guy who didn't shower for like 30 years. He took a shower and died. Um,
All that bacteria was keeping you alive this whole time.
yeah, I think so. Like, okay.
Uh, but yeah, like they eventually like they do catch up with Brad, and she's kind of like not convinced, but she does finally come around and realize that Brad's a good guy and that he was kind of being set up.
Hmm.
And but then just like out of nowhere, she's like in love with Brad. Like they just start falling. I'm like, that was like one of the
So
most
lame.
forced love
So
things
lame.
I've seen of, because they had like zero chemistry together. And I didn't even realize that's what they were going for. And then all of a sudden they just start like kissing.
Yeah, they
And
kiss.
I'm just like, what?
And at the end of the movie, she's like, hanging on to him when they're held at gunpoint. It's so, I agree. I was like, maybe it's just the acting quality of everybody here, but I definitely did not get that vibe at all from this movie.
No, I did not pick up on that at all until like they kissed. And I was just like, ugh, like that
Yeah.
was not what I was expecting. That feels so forced.
Yeah, but no,
That was
they,
that's probably like the one thing like I like an actual criticism where I was just like, oh, like that kind of was like, like why?
yeah, but you got to think of it from their point of view. It's like it's kind of ripping and riffing on like other movies at the time, and I'm sure they thought there has to be a love story. There's no movie without a love story.
Sure, I get that too.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, like the movie kind of goes on to like this big chase scene where it's George is trying really hard to stop Brad because Brad's like the only thing keeping him from actually facing the consequences of this. And towards he like it's like he sends like a whole posse after him and
Yeah, after like
all
a
these other
huge like town hall meeting, or at the as he
Mhm.
says the cat he says it so weird. He doesn't say
the ca
cafe.
the cafe.
Yeah, he's like
Is it the
cafe.
was it like the cafe
He
cafe
he says it weird. He says cafe really weird. It's hard.
oh cafe.
Cafe. Yeah, there we go. And I was like, what? Did this guy not know how to
He
say
says
this?
it. Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, he says it. Why does he say it's so weird? Like,
Yeah, but that town hall meeting's so funny because he's like, he's in front of everybody, really getting them riled up to hate this guy, and then a ninja gets mentioned, so this Asian man runs out and he's like ninja, ninja, like scared,
yeah,
and then they do a whole backstory explanation. He's like, oh no, because like the guy who owns it's like he's not gonna come back, and he's like my dishwashing man, and he's like, oh well, his family's been here since World War II, so he's definitely coming back. It's like I remember it makes sense later, but watching it, I was like, what the hell? What are they
I
going on
I didn't know.
about?
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that either. I was like, why would they even mention that about him?
Yeah, it
Like,
just felt like an odd detail.
and because it's revealed later that the ninja played by Ron White is apparently like the son of these two Japanese parents that had moved to America like during World War II to escape Japan.
Yeah.
And
Well, no,
and he
they no, they explain it that I don't know why I know this. This is a detail I should probably have forgotten. They say that they were in California, and after Pearl Harbor,
oh, right,
they
that's
moved from
right, yeah.
California over. I just and I don't know. I was like, that's why didn't they just do leave Japan during World
They
War
said
II?
they said that after what happened in Pearl Harbor, that's what
Made
made
a
them
move.
move.
Yeah.
So that's like determined that they were not, one of those, evil Japanese people. They
Oh
were one of the
yeah.
good ones.
And then you actually see the grave of their family later, which is like just like paper mache with some black paint with a name on it. It's so silly.
Yeah. And anyway, like they go on the run and they have like these really ridiculous fight scenes, like I said, where it's just like people like being like just like kicked and stuff like that. They're being thrown. It's so
Mm.
ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's silly, but it's kind of fun. There's like that one fight where the two farmers are fighting the ninja, and it's obvious the ninja's holding a
Oh,
straw
right.
dummy on camera. but the farmers don't know it, and they stab the pitchfork through the dummy, throws it, and then he like kicks the farmer's ass. It's fun.
That's right. They're like these two big farmers, and he's just like
Mhm.
tossing them around and kicking them and stuff, and they're just like, oh, type of
Yeah,
thing.
they're like on the ground. Oh, and the ninja disappears, right? And then and then Brad's like, "Oh, I know you're here. You're helping me out," like shouting into the void. I thought he was going to get blamed for the murders of these guys too. I thought that would, or no, he does, doesn't he? Isn't this part of the crime spree that he brings up?
Has he killed him?
No, he doesn't kill him. I think assault is what they say.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's one part where Ron White's like, "Oh well, you didn't really murder, and assault police, did you?" He's like, "Well, one of those is true. I did assault police, but I had
Right, he did,
to."
yeah. Oh, no, not Ron White. It was Brad that said that.
Oh,
It
sorry,
was,
yeah, Brad, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. He had said like he's like, no, I didn't do any of that stuff. I did assault a police officer, but that's because I had to escape, type of
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah,
And uh, there's another scene too where I think is it Carol that he's pointing? I'm trying to remember who George is like pointing. He's like pointing at somebody at gunpoint, or it might have been Brad or one of them, but he's pointing one of them at gunpoint.
hmm.
Or no, it was the or was it oh, it was the dojo instructor.
Yes, yeah,
Like, because the dojo instructor, like he points the gun at the dojo instructor, and like the ninja like throws like a shuriken like
and
at
then
George's hand, and it just like you'd think like if you hit some like with a shuriken, it would have like left a mark or like gone into his hand, but it's like a dull blade shuriken, and he's just like it just like hits his hand. He's like, what the hell?
yeah, yeah.
Type of thing.
It's like at school, like when a teacher slaps your wrist with a ruler, like you see that in movies. That's kind of what the shuriken does. It's almost like a slap on the wrist, not like a stab or anything.
And then like they find it because they haven't met the ninja yet, and like they find it, they're like, huh, a shuriken type of thing. Like it's like a
Yeah.
clue.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to, because the ninja's like the boogeyman, and they don't think he really exists. And
Hmm.
it kind of all comes together because in the prison, they catch up to them because not in the prison. Why did I say prison? In the barn, because that's where Brad's hiding, and they all end up at the barn, and he's holding them at gunpoint. And he has like this elaborate plan where he's like, "All right, so." I'm gonna, he's gonna kill them all. He's like, all right, so you're gonna run away, and I shot you in the back, but that's after you killed her, like trying to like set up this elaborate story.
Yeah, because eventually at the end of the movie, George kind of corners the Carol and Brad
Hmm.
into like the farm, and because Grady like was, he's basically just like, all right, I'm gonna have to kill one of you, and then one of you gonna I'm gonna kill Carol and say Brad did it, and then I'm gonna kill Brad saying like I did it, like I shot you in defense type of thing.
Hmm.
And then Grady's just kind of like at a certain point, the one cop that was in is like, whoa, 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 like assault is one thing, assault on a lady is one thing, but murder, like can't get by that.
Yeah, that's when he has to change a heart, and then he smacks him in the head. But and I thought like that was gonna kill him, but no, it just knocks
That's what I
him
thought
out.
too. I thought
Yeah.
that too. Like he was gonna be just like that, like, a killing blow, like right away.
Yeah, no, he's a man, so he gets to live through it.
And then because the ninja like comes in and like doesn't he hit them with like the sword or like the katana or something?
I think so. Honestly, I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember the end, but like George gets knocked out
Hmm.
because and the sheriff was basically just like, all right, Brad, you're going in, but then Grady wakes up, was like, no, it was George the whole time, can't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there's a cop that shows up that's not in like any other part of the movie. He's
That
got
was
like a really
he,
thin mustache. Is he in the movie at an
he's he
earlier point?
no, because they were kind of waiting for the sheriff to show up.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
because he was the sheriff, because George and Grady were just like patrolmen type of thing or deputies,
Gotcha.
and that was like the actual sheriff. And but Grady confesses and says like it and tells him the whole thing, and they're able to get arrested. Like Grady gets arrested, George gets taken away, and they're able to live in peace. And then like there's like this moment where Brad and the ninja are like at this like on the top of this hill,
Mm-hmm.
like and the ninja, by the way, it does not speak or say anything throughout this whole movie. You just see his eyes like through the little like ninja hole like in his garment.
Yeah.
And, and he's just like, huh, like there's that Japanese couple that lived out here, and uh you must be their son. And he's
Mm.
just kind of nods like an acknowledgement type of thing.
Yeah.
And and like he just like he goes off, and that's just kind of like the end of the
Yeah.
movie.
Well, that's not the best part of that interaction is he like nods at him, and I think Brad goes, "Oh, does that mean that we're friends now?" And
Oh,
he
right.
and then he nods. It's like, yeah, I get to be
The
friends with the ninja.
ninja. He's friends with the ninja now. But
Yeah,
that it's just weird. Like you could take the honestly, like you could take the ninja out of the movie, like because he does kind of like save them like at certain points, but like
yeah.
for the most part, I mean, you don't really need the ninja in this
Yeah,
movie.
it's weird that he has like no
Oh,
presence almost. And I mean, I guess that's maybe the point. I'm thinking of it like an artsy flick. But no, yeah, he
we were
doesn't
the
need.
ninja the whole time.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. He doesn't need to know, or like he doesn't need to be here. All they needed to do is Brad just kicks ass if he needs to, right? But I think
Yeah, well,
ninjas were a trend at that point.
oh yeah. I mean, there was a lot of ninja movies, so it was kind of like a new thing. And clearly, I think Ron D. White is like an actual martial arts student or instructor or whatever,
Hmm.
and he wanted to show off his moves a lot. So I think this is more of like an excuse to do that. And
God,
uh,
that's
oh
like these movies like Miami Connection are just like vanity projects. Like, look how cool I am.
yeah, I wonder if Ron D. White also feels like this deserved like an Oscar, like the director of
I
Miami
I wish I
Connection did.
got I wish I got to watch the documentary. I'm interested in seeing what his life was like.
I would too. Like it's on the Blu-ray, and I was tempted to get it, but I didn't end up doing it. But
Mhm.
um, anyway, there was another part too where they have like there's oh yeah, okay, some other notable things. Like there's a bar where it's like, oh, Nick Nixon is playing here, and if you look, like Nick Nixon is actually like a singer and like
Oh
actually has
yeah.
like his own Wikipedia page and everything too. But yeah, Nick Nixon is in there, and he has like his own Wikipedia page, but it just has him like playing at some bar in DeSoto, like Missouri, like type of thing. And then there's also like a music number too, like where it's like a band playing, and it looks like Willie Nelson like is
Oh
there.
yeah. It's like a Willie Nelson knockoff. And I thought
Yeah, like the
that
lookalike.
once
Well,
again,
like so if you go to IMDb in the trivia section, it's like Willie Nelson has a cameo in this movie,
that's
but it
not
clearly
Willie
said,
Nelson.
in the credits and on IMDb's cast list that it's like James whatever is the Willie Nelson lookalike.
Yeah, I don't know. You did not convince me that that was Willie
Uh,
Nelson.
well, I
Um,
mean, it just goes to show like you can't trust everything IMDb
no,
has on their trivia
no.
section.
But I don't know. That's part of the reason I like this movie because like that's like a really like fourth wall breaking moment because they're having a fight scene with this real song playing, and then they run past the two people making the song, singing like they're not a part of the scene. I don't know. I just like moments like that. I was like, oh, they're actually like trying something interesting. They're not really making like a boring, static, still movie. They're thinking of dynamic things.
Yeah, I will say like even like the exposition points of the movie or anything like that. It's like there's never really a dull moment in this movie where it's just like I feel like in a lot of these it would be like a lot of them just like for a low budget movie or like a really crappy movie like that, it'd be like a lot of scenes of like exposition or like them
Hmm.
talking about ninja, and it just there would be like this really kind of like this big drag in the middle of this movie, but there's really not anything like that in here. It's pretty fast paced. I mean,
I Yeah, I was surprised how much fun I had with this movie. Like I think it's got a really good pace to it. It was just fun the whole time. Yeah, because when I think of movies like this shot on video, very low budget, it's just exposition dump, right? Like there's like always a scene where it's like blah blah. They have so much to talk, but they do a good job of making sure that there's a little bit of action or something funny, even if it's unintentional, to make it
Yeah.
spice it up.
And again, there's always a bit of charm to the type of movies that they're so earnest with their attempt to like make a good
Mhm.
movie. Like they're trying, like, like going back to like Velocipass, where it's like clearly like, haha, this is a crappy movie type of thing. And, but this one, it's like they're like, no, we're gonna try the best we can. We're gonna try to make the best movie that we can with what we have. And I think, there's a lot of charm to it, and it makes me enjoy a movie a lot more when I'm able to see something like that. Despite them failing on almost every aspect, but it's still really entertaining to see that.
So hear me out. All right. So like a movie like I actually strike that. Let me say this. I feel like when I watched this, I was thinking to myself, if you gave this guy Purvis, if you gave him a real budget and real actors, he legitimately could make a decent movie. I'm not saying an amazing movie, not Oscar winning, but he has like you could see a little bit of skill there. At least I thought so. I think the budget is what limits this movie and the bad acting to a lower level of like, oh, this is a bad movie.
Maybe. I don't know how much I agree with, like, he could make a good movie, but
Yeah, maybe, but give him
but
like a couple
but
million.
but would he try some interesting ideas and make it entertaining? I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I could see it. So, hey, I was charmed by this one. Like you said, it's a charming movie. I actually, I recommend it. I think it was a really fun time.
I too recommend this one. I watched it with some friends, and
Nice.
that's probably the best way to watch a movie like this, because you guys will have a really good time doing that.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time.
Yeah. But Nathan, what are we going to be talking about on Tuesday?
Well, Ryan, on Tuesday, we are going to a Giallo movie and we're going to be talking about Torso from 1973. And that one is streaming over on Tubi. But Ryan, what are we covering on Thursday?
Well, Nathan, I was going to be picking a horror movie that I've been wanting to see for a while, and I'm going to pick the movie Nightbreed, which
Ooh,
is
nice.
also streaming on Tubi for free.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm excited to watch that. And I should say that it is October. So we got to get into these horror movies at some point, right?
No, not really. I was thinking like, like these nice period dramas would be kind of cool to do.
Sense and
Like,
Sensibility.
yeah, oh yes, a Room with a View.
Ooh, I love that one.
And oh, James Ivory month. That'd be great.
Yeah, there we go. Jane, that is true horror. Am I right, people? Am I right?
Hmm.
But no, I'm excited to watch that one.
Absolutely. But if you have any thoughts and opinions, please email us over at driveanddoublepodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/driveanddoublepeaturepodcast, and check out the Patreon as well, patreon.com/driveanddoublepeaturepodcast. But until next time.
Until next time.